So thank you for watching all these videos I've done about building this pond. Have a look at all the videos. I've done numerous videos on this, probably about 8 videos in total, in terms of how you build a pond, how you design it, what techniques you need to employ, how to build it, and hopefully you'll find the final video that I release that will showcase the entirety of this, to show you what it looks like in terms of all the various elements of this pond and how it looks now. And I hope these videos have been helpful to you to build your own project. But you know, don't give up. You will get there in the end. But it just means a lot of perseverance. Having the motivation is the biggest thing of all. Even when it's raining and you're covered in mud and the house is a mess because you're bringing in a lot of mud into the house, don't give up. It will take time, a lot of hard work, don't get me wrong, but in the end you can sit in your garden and listen to that. Nice, isn't it? Anyway, enjoy the final video that I'll release on this, and you know, it's probably a good idea to watch all of them so you get an idea of how to build a pond and showcasing what I've built, and hopefully some of the good suggestions I can give to you will help you build yours. In general, it's suggested and recommended that you go as big as you can, because normally you buy your big, normally you build your pond, you go bigger and then you go biggest, but it's always a good idea to try and skip some of those steps. It will save you money in the long run by building bigger straight away rather than going for a small pond like I have here. One word of wisdom I would give to you is, if you're going to build a pond near a neighbour's house or wall, seek formal permission before you do so, because if it's deemed that you're digging into the foundations, it could cause you problems. So I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I hope to see you in the future. So we've used amber decorative stone, we've used rainbow pebbles and Scottish pebbles, and any other sort of pebbles and stones I could use. I've used a lot of small rockery stones as well. So I've actually fixed all the main big boulders that we've got round here in with waterfall foam. That's that landscaping foam you can purchase online, and rocked it in as much as we can. It's about 2 feet deep in the pond cave area, which is only about I don't know, maybe 40 centimetres wide and 40 centimetres long, and then it's about 1 feet deep the rest of the pooling area, and then obviously a lot less going up towards the waterfall. We have a main cascading waterfall there running into a small pool, then it runs down onto 2 small broken up flags that I obtained into 2 smaller waterfalls, and then finally runs into the pooling area of the pond. And I'll just put a load of Scottish pebbles in there, and I've done that along the edges as well. Around the circumference of the pond I've put mulch down going all the way around, and then we've incorporated a lot of rockery stone and gravel that's come from the quarry. So around the circumference of the pond we've mulched it in a little bit, and we've used some gravel that's from the local quarry where I got the stones from, to basically, you know, match it in, and we're trying to naturalise this as much as possible. Right, to summarise, what we did with this pond is we dug it out, we put underlay down, liner and overlay on top of it, then we rocked it in with our stones and our boulders. We built a shelf for the bog filter to go, and rocked the entire pond in, and then we started work on the waterfall. So we've put 6 goldfish in there at the moment,
They're very small and very timid and don't come to you as much. Swim away a lot into the fish cave. The fish cave is a good idea. Obviously it's not fantastic if you want to see your fish because they'll spend a lot of time in there, but hopefully when they get a bit bigger and a bit used to you in terms of the food giver, they'll come to you more often and be less timid towards you as the fish owner. Obviously the fish cave is there for a reason, to protect the fish against predators, but the reason this pond is designed like this, in mines with lots of you know, flowers and pond plants, is to filtrate this pond without the need of using a large filtration system. So we have the bog filter area here that will filter the ammonia, turn the nitrates to nitrites, and if we look up a little bit, we have the pooling area which also has some plants in that will do a similar job, that will start to remove a lot of the nasty nitrates and ammonia in the water, and hopefully this ecosystem will keep the algae at bay. As you can see, I've already got a little bit on the actual waterfall there. Hopefully the plants will limit this. The only thing I haven't put in is some floating plants that I will put in later on, but I just wanted to show you and tell you about how I built this, and hopefully this video will be helpful. So here I have constructed a fish cave area. The pump is located just within that fish cave entrance, and we've also got like a bog filter there which is on a shelf that's just above the actual fish cave. So the fish cave is here largely, but then we created a shelf out of stone. We've secured that with waterfall foam or landscaping foam. Check my other video about that. And I created like a dam area with rockery stones going round. We've put soil in, we planted it, we put pea gravel on the top to keep the soil in place. That will act as a bog filter to filtrate this pond, and we've got about 6 goldfish in there. So to build this waterfall, what we did was we dug it out and shaped it. Then we put an underlay down to protect the liner that we would put on top. So we put the liner down, and then we put an overlay on top of the liner, and then we put our rocks on top of that with a Superfish spillway box which is just underneath those rocks, and we try to make it look nice. Make sure the liner forced all the water into the pooling area. We created a small pebble pooling wetland area here where we could put some plants, and then we got 2 small flags that would allow the water to flow into the waterfall, and that's more or less in brief how we built it. Obviously there's a lot more to it, a lot of design and a lot of trial and error to get it looking the way we want it to look, but in the end it's an artistic project. Don't give up, and that's more or less how we built the waterfall. Just one last point that I forgot to mention in the video is when you're building waterfall, it's a good idea to use waterfall foam, black waterfall foam, or it may be called landscaping foam as well. What we use that for is to force water to flow in a certain place and a certain way in a waterfall, and it also helps to bond the stones together and keep them secure and to make sure there's no movement. So I put a little bit in between the framing rocks. Obviously you can see the 2 framing rocks at the side of the flagstone there where the water's running along. I just put it through the nooks and crannies just to force the water to actually flow into the pooling area. I just wanted to make that point that it's a good idea to use black waterfall foam. It does not expand as much as foam you may get from your local DIY shop, which is normally yellow and expands a lot more. But once it's put down, give it a few minutes, use some gloves, and you'll be able to mould it and push it into place where you want it to be. So I just wanted to tell you about that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.